Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session for Microsoft Excel. Today is the first session for Microsoft Excel. We will start with introduction, why should you learn Microsoft Excel, followed by the importance of learning Microsoft Excel. So let's begin our journey in learning Microsoft Excel from scratch. Now, all of you must be using Microsoft Excel maybe on a weekly basis or depending on your job or on your requirement. For example, let's say as a researcher, you have collected large data. You have conducted a survey of over 700 households and there were at least 100 parameters that was followed and 100 questions that were answered. Now, how are you going to segregate and clean that data? See, the thing is when you collect those data, you won't be able to put it in Microsoft Word because it won't help you. Neither you will be able to put it in presentation because PowerPoint presentation is not for that. You have to upload all this data on Microsoft Excel. And what happens when you put all the data in Microsoft Excel, because of its tabular format and rows and columns, it becomes easy to analyze that data. Not only that, Microsoft Excel also comes with a large library of formulas. So any sort of statistical analysis or mathematical analysis, it is very easy to do with Microsoft Excel. So let's understand what is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet and workbook creating application. One of the most used tool for data entry and storing large numeric data in tabular format. Now think about it. All the data entry jobs that happen, storing large amount of data, it is possible to do with the help of Microsoft Excel. And also you can analyze that, clean that, work on it, apply formulas to it, add charts, look into the visualization, create graphs. You can do so many more things with Microsoft Excel. Now, like any other Microsoft product, like Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, you can either purchase it as a standalone application or you can purchase it as part of the Microsoft Office 365 subscription. So this is what is Microsoft Excel. Now let's understand why do we need to learn Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel provides lot of benefits other than document processing application. One, ribbon style menu. Just like we learned about the different ribbon style menus that are available in both Word and PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel also have a larger variety of ribbon style menus. You can save your document in numerous formats. Now you must be thinking numerous formats for Microsoft Excel? Well, yes. Sometimes if you require a Microsoft Excel file to be converted to a CSV file, you can do that. You can also save Microsoft Excel file as a PDF format as well. So there are numerous formats that you can save a Microsoft Excel file and not just in the XML format. Microsoft Excel also comes with preloaded templates. You need to create a balance sheet or you need to create a chart depicting what is the growth of the company, need to understand the operations. Well, Microsoft Excel comes into your rescue here. It already comes with preloaded templates which you can use and just put the numbers and the formula and complete your calculation. In present the same. As I was saying, Microsoft Excel absolutely comes with a large library of formulas. These formulas are not just limited to mathematical, but there is scientific as well as statistical formulas which are available. Practicing maths, creating equations, or solving any mathematical problem, it is easier to do it with the help of Microsoft Excel. Plus, Microsoft Excel's most important thing is it comes with analytical capabilities. Microsoft Excel's most important feature is this, that the large sets of data that you need to analyze, you can analyze it with less effort. Yes, and with less time taken with the help of Microsoft Excel. All the large datas, you can just upload the data and then it becomes easier to filter, sort, and use other functions to make sure that you get a clean set of data and you can analyze it easily. The next that we have is importance of Microsoft Excel. The first one is calculation. Now that we already spoke about it has a large library of formulas, calculating any sum, be it statistical or mathematical, it is easier to do with the help of Microsoft Excel. But make sure that you add the right formula to it. Because the moment you add the right formula, you will get the correct answer. We are going to be learning about the different formulas that are available and how to do calculations in the next upcoming sessions. Formatting. There are various formatting options available which allows businesses and companies to bring attention to important sets of data. Now, as a company, you must be collecting large sets of data, and you must be also working with large sets of data. Now, each and every data set is not going to be that important. There are going to be certain parts of the data set that is going to be important. For example, if you are doing a sales projection for the last 5 years, what will be important is how much the sales has increased or decreased over the last 5 years, right? And that's where you would want your team to focus on as a manager. Similarly, let's say as a researcher, the data that you collect, you will see that there is a certain discrepancy that is happening or there is a roadblock that has happened in the data collection. For example, let's say if you are collecting data about number of uh, the annual income of the families, you would want to show the growth from for most of the families of how the annual income is, right? So this whole thing can be depicted with the help of Microsoft Excel, and you can actually focus on those certain parts of data itself. You do not have to showcase the whole data. You obviously will be working with all the data that you have acquired or you have cleaned and analyzed, but you can actually portray on and present and get your team's attention to that specific set of data which the team needs to work on. Next is data analysis. Microsoft Excel helps in analyzing large sets of data. It can be calculated and represented with charts and graphs. Now, la- because you're working with large sets of data, sometimes more than showing the mathematical calculation, you can actually use charts and graphs to show where exactly the curve is going, or has it increased, has it decreased over the years. Now, when you present it, there's a way to present numbers, right? So if you portray and present numbers on the screen, well, there is a chance that your team or the target audience may lose focus and not understand where exactly that they need to pay attention to. What you can do is you can add a chart or a graph to represent that set of data. And when you add a chart or a graph, obviously your team or that target audience's attention goes directly to that chart and the graph, and they understand through that visualization that where does the team needs to focus on, or where does the target audience needs to understand. Compile and filter. Users can compile large sets of data together and filter based on their requirements. Now, think about it. You will be getting large sets of data, right? Now, sometimes you will have two sets of data that you need to compile. Sometimes you need to filter the data as per your requirement. You think you will be doing that manually? Absolutely not, because that is more time intensive and it is going to take a lot of effort from your side. To make it easy, Microsoft Excel already includes compiling features and filtering features, where you can filter your data or compile your data as per your requirement. And you do not have to waste so much time in compiling it or filtering it manually. You can always customize the compilation and the filtering as well. So this is what is the importance of Microsoft Excel. Now let's give you a small tour of Microsoft Excel. So we go to Start button and we open Microsoft Excel. The moment we open Microsoft Excel, as you see, this is the landing page. We will learn more about the templates that are available, but you can always click on the blank workbook. The moment you click on blank workbook, because I am using the 2021 version, you will see rows and columns both in numbered. Maybe most of yours Microsoft Excel version that you will be using, please check onto it. It might have columns with alphabets and rows with numbers. We have the different ribbon menus that we will be talking about it in the next upcoming classes. There are formulas that you can use. You can calculate, do all your calculations here with the help of formulas, and you can also review the data, clean the data, create charts, add illustrations, 3D maps. So you get a lot of things to do with Microsoft Excel. And in all the next sessions, we are going to learn how to use Microsoft Excel. Now that we have started learning about Microsoft Excel, do go to support.microsoft.com to learn more about Microsoft Excel. Also, do visit Microsoft Learn and try to complete a course on Microsoft Excel to earn few extra credits. Thank you. Hello. Welcome to the second session of Microsoft Excel. In the first session, we learned about what is Microsoft Excel and why is it important for all of us to learn Microsoft Excel. Now, we will talk about how to start a document in Microsoft Excel, which is known as workbook, and what are recent documents and how to access them. So let's begin our session for today. We will be starting with starting up and then recent documents. Now, starting Microsoft Excel. When you start a Microsoft Excel, you will land up with a blank workbook. If you want, you can also select from the array of preloaded templates. Be it Microsoft PowerPoint or be it Microsoft Word, there's an option to choose a blank document or a blank presentation. Similarly, in Microsoft Excel, you will have the option to start from scratch in a blank workbook. When you open a workbook, you will see it comprises of various ribbon menus and spreadsheet with rows and columns. So there are rows and columns and it is in a tabular format, and it also has various ribbon menus. Now Microsoft Word also has various ribbon menus, whereas presentation also has various ribbon menus. But for example, Microsoft Presentation has something to do with inserting icons, transitions, animations, etc. Whereas Microsoft Word has references and reviews and proofreading, which is more important when you're creating a document. So the ribbon menus are customized as per the application and the usage of it. Users have different uses with different applications. In Excel workbook, you will be using it for analyzing data and calculating numbers or doing some certain statistical function. That is not much required when it comes to a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation or Microsoft Word. That is why you will see here formulas ribbon menu. And we will be talking about ribbon menus in Microsoft Excel in the next upcoming session. Also, because it is in a tabular format, you will find rows and columns. There are, like Microsoft presentation has slides and Microsoft document Word has document. Here you will have a tabular format where there are small cells where you can insert numbers. Now the columns are labeled with letters while the rows are labeled with numbers. So one thing here is the version that I am using is Microsoft Office version 2021. If you're using a previous version, you will find that the columns are labeled with alphabetical letters. So column A, B, C, D. Whereas in my case, the columns are also labeled with numbers, but it is still easier to locate the row and the column that you want to select when you are creating a workbook and also using it for calculation. Users can also click on File menu to open a pre-made workbook. Now, you might be using a workbook for quite some time and you have been working on it previously. So there's always a chance that you open that workbook and work on the same. But please make sure that every time you're opening a workbook, you are saving that workbook and also all the changes that you do every time when you open that document. You do not want information loss or losing out on the changes that you have already incorporated in that document. So let's see how Microsoft Excel opens. Now we'll go back and we click on Start menu and open Microsoft Excel. This is the landing page. As you see, there are templates here loaded, which we'll be looking into the next session. There are documents that you have already used for some time, which is also listed here. And then you have New. In New, you can select onto the blank workbook. Click onto the blank workbook, and this is your workbook. Now, what this page is called is, you see here it's labeled as sheet 1 is a spreadsheet 1. You can keep on increasing it as well and you can save it all under one workbook, by the way. You do not have to save it in different workbooks. So let's say you require about 5 spreadsheets because you have to showcase 5 different calculations. You can always use 5 sheets here, keep on adding it and work on it whenever you would want to work on whichever spreadsheet you would want to work on. But make sure that you're always saving that spreadsheet. The numbers that you see vertically are all your rows. The numbers you see horizontally are your columns. So for example, I want to choose this column, which is row 7 and column 7 as well, right? And you will see here the label. Let's say I want to choose this, then you are at row 4 and column 15. So are your columns, these are your rows, and you can select any row, any column you want to start working on it, right? You see these are the ribbon menus that are there, and each and every ribbon menu will have different features and functions that we will be talking about it descriptively. So you have home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, etc. So this is how the ribbon menus look like, right? So this is your workbook. As I said, these are the ribbon menus. This is the rows and these are the columns. And here you can see the labeling of which column and which row you're working on. Now let's go back to the document again. Next is about recent documents in Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Office allows accessing recent documents easier. It displays the last few documents opened in the Microsoft Excel in the task pane. You can turn off and turn it back on this feature and also adjust the number of files it displays. Now let's say you're working on a balance sheet and you will be using it for quite some time. So every daily you try to open it and work on it, or you will be using that to work on it after some time. So there's a lot of uses that you can do with those recent documents. Now there are two ways to locate that balance sheet. One, you already know in which folder it is saved. So you do not have to worry about, uh, looking for it and searching for it. Secondly, if you are using it, accessing it, and opening it frequently, it will already appear in the recent documents. So let's see where recent documents is located. So we'll go back and we go to Excel and we go to File, ribbon menu. Once click on it, you will see recent, pinned, and shared by me. We will be just talking about recent right now. Now, here are all the files that I have been using. So as you see here, this I have opened 49 minutes ago. So you can use the recent document anytime that you would want. And you can also make sure that you can remove it from the list. So let's say this is the document that I've already worked on. I've showed it, but I don't want to use it anymore right now. And I don't want to put it in my recent document. Right click on it and you can remove it from the list if you want. Now, removing it from the list does not mean that you are deleting the file. That means it will not be showcased in the recent documents. Again, if you are removing it from the list of the recent documents, that means it will not show from the recent document list. That's about it. The file won't get deleted, changes won't get lost, and you won't lose out on the information that you have uploaded in that Excel document. You can open a copy as well. You can delete the file as well if you want, share it as well, or copy the path to the clipboard. So you can do various functions with that file as well. Now, always make sure that your recent documents are the documents that you will use it on a regular basis. Once done and you think it will come in for a future use, you can remove that document from the list so that you don't miss out on other documents that are important for you to work on. So this is how the recent document works. Now that you have learned about recent documents, make sure that you go to support.microsoft.com to learn more about Microsoft Excel's functions and features. Also, when you get some time, please make sure that you complete a course on Microsoft Excel in Microsoft Learn to earn few extra credits. Thank you. The fifth session of Microsoft Excel. We started with the introduction to Microsoft Excel, learned why is it important for us to know Microsoft Excel. Also understood what are rows, what are workbooks, what are spreadsheets, what are columns, cell ranges, how to use templates, how to pin the documents. Now we will understand the different ribbon menus that are available. So today's session, we will start with the ribbon style menu, followed by the file ribbon menu, home ribbon menu, insert ribbon menu, and page layout ribbon menu. So let's start our session for the day. Now, what is ribbon style menus? We have also learned about the ribbon style menus back in PowerPoint and in Word. So let's revise it once more time. Ribbon style menus is something that Microsoft Office has produced in order to make it easier to navigate to all the features. Very simply, all the features and functions that Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel has, instead of scrolling them and having them in a drop down list, it is all featured with the help of ribbon menus. And what the ribbon menus helps us is to navigate and use the features easily. They are divided in groups for easier access. There are icons present, and obviously navigation is much more easier. You do not have to search and scroll through all the functions and the features that are available. I mean, how easy that makes our life when we are working, because we can actually go to each and every ribbon menu that are there and figure out what are the functions or features we might require when we are creating a certain document, be it Word, be it presentation, be it a worksheet. Now, what is the file ribbon menu? It includes a lot of useful features. For example, opening a blank workbook, templates, bookmarking favorite templates, and pinning important files. Now, the place where we actually looking for the recent documents and pinning the documents and also accessed a template is the file menu. So let's go back to Microsoft Excel and see what else are there. Let's open the worksheet that we were working on. And you see the first thing that you see is the file ribbon menu, which is, so home ribbon menu is a default when you open a blank worksheet or a template worksheet. File ribbon menu, which is right before home ribbon menu itself. You have the different files that are there. You can open a blank worksheet if you want. You can blank workbook or anything from the templates which are there. You can get information. You can save your file. So save as and save. Save as is when you're saving the file for the first time, you determine a location, you determine a certain folder for it, and you save your workbook there. Then you have save any time that you want to save your document for the changes that you have created. After you have finished creating that document and locating the document in the specific folder, you use save. You just save the document before you close it so that the changes that you have made in the document gets integrated and incorporated and there is no loss of information. Then you have print, then you have sharing the document, exporting them to different formats, publishing them, and closing them as well. You can also check onto your Microsoft Office account from here. And in case you want to see some more functions which are available, which includes feedback and options, you can also look into the same. So file ribbon menu is basically either to open a blank workbook or open a workbook with the help of template or open the recent documents or to pin your documents which you think you might require in the near future, right? And anytime you want to locate a file, an Excel file, use the file ribbon menu. Anytime you want to apply a template, you use the file ribbon menu. So for all these basic features that you require, you should be using file ribbon menu. The next is the home ribbon menu. It contains the most used ribbon groups, starting from the clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, cells, editing, and ideas, right? The default ribbon menu is home ribbon menu. Be it any application, when you open a blank workbook or a presentation or a document, you will see the home ribbon menu. So let's see what home ribbon menu components are in Microsoft Excel. So we'll go back and we can see here the different which is there. So there's the undo redo. There's a clipboard with paste, format painter, copy and cut functions. There is font. You can create a table with borders. You can do uppercase, lowercase with the help of this. Put cell colors, fill color. Also, font colors you can change. This is your alignment. You can also do orientation and format the cell alignment depending on your choice. You can wrap text and merge. Then you have the numbers where you can do, let's say, what you are using it for example, general or just number or currency or accounting, short date, long date, time, percentage, fraction, scientific and text. You have also more number formats which are available for you for your special, uh, you know, requirements. So let's say one scientific or fraction up to two digit, up to one digit, two digit, you will be able to choose and format the numbers as per your help. You can also check on the accounting number format here. So change the currency formatting from here. You can use the percent style, comma style. Also, there is increase and decrease decimal. Yes. Then you have something as different styles which are there. So one is conditional formatting, where you highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets. You can use all of them. You can create new rule, clear those rules and manage those rules as well. Yes. So this is conditional formatting. The next is format as table. So let's say you have bordered a few cell ranges and have created a table out of it. You can look into the different color formats this which are there, which are available for you, and you can use this table styles to make it visually more pleasing, your tables more visually pleasing, right? You can also use different cell styles that are there, different data model, title and headings, themed cell styles which are also available. So you can use any of this as well. Check on the number format, and also you can work on the new cell style and merge styles as well. This is all you can do as per your requirement. Whatever your requirement is, what however you want to do it, you can actually customize it and format it in that way. Next is inserting and inserting cells, sheet rows, columns, etc. You can insert a sheet as well, worksheet, or you can do it from here as well. Then you have delete, and then you have format. So you can format them as well. You can change the row height, you can check on the column width, you can hide and unhide rows, columns and sheets. So let's say for example, there is one sheet where you have done all the calculations. Yes, and because you have done calculations and you're also checking, showing all the files, you might just want to not show the calculation file because that's not required. What you can do is for your further use, you can just hide the sheet so that calculation sheet can be hidden and nobody will be able to access that. You can rename them, move or copy them. So you can also rename, move them, by the way, if you want. Let's say you want to move it here. So let's say you have moved this first, or I want to use this at the beginning. I can shift them as well, right? Then you can change the tab color if you want. You can protect the sheet if you want, lock the cells, and even format cells. All of this you can do. This whole datasheet formatting you can will be able to do with your own workbook itself. Then you have adding formulas, sum, average, count, number, etc., maximum, minimum. As you can see, then you can also do down, right, up, left. So you can series, justify, and flash fill. We will be doing all of these things in the next upcoming sessions. Then we have clear the formats and comments and notes. You can sort and filter and even find and select also all these things. So if you want to find certain formulas or notes or conditional formatting, you can do that. You can sort and filter them as well. The next we have is the insert ribbon menu. In insert ribbon menu, you have table, illustration, add-ins, charts, sparklines, text, and symbol. So what are insert ribbon menu? Insert ribbon menu has all the things that you can insert in your Excel sheet. So we go to insert ribbon menu. You see it starts with tables. So you have the pivot tables and the recommended pivot tables. Then you have illustrations that you can add, pictures, shapes, icons, 3D models. You can add-ins. Just make sure that whatever add-ins you want, the IT cell can, can help you with adding in any other application that you would want with your Excel. Recommended charts. So we will be learning about charts and how to use them. But as you see, the charts can be added from here itself. Maps, different maps are there. Pivot chart, which is there, and pivot table. You can add 3D maps, lines, columns, win loss with the help of sparklins, different slicer and timeline, so you can do all of that. You can add links, add comment to your workbook, different text, header, word art, signature line, and even symbols as well. Yes. So whatever you want to insert in your Microsoft Excel workbook, you can use the insert ribbon menu to work on the same. Next, we have the page layout. Here in page layout, you will find themes, page setup, scale to fit, sheet options, and arrange. So this is basically for the arrangement of the worksheet. Page layout is all about the layout of the page. So how do we want to see our worksheet? Yes. So let's understand what are there in page layout. So I'll go back and we go to page layout. And you see it starts with themes. So you have different themes that are there, which you can use. Then you have margins. So you can always customize your margins. Orientation, depending on the requirement, portrait or landscape. Size, print area. So you can set the print area. Breaks. Yeah, you can insert page breaks here. Background, so you can add some background from the with pictures and all, and even print the tiles. So let's say you want to print certain set of tiles, you can do that as well. Here you have scale to fit, where you can change the width and the height and the scale so that your worksheet fits properly. You can add grid lines and headings. Also, arrange with pictures, bring forward or send backward. Selection pane is there, align is there. This is for all the objects that you add, you can edit and arrange with the help of this buttons. See, group, rotate, selection pane. You can do all of this with all these features that are available. So in home, we have the basic features along with some conditional formatting styles, inserting, deleting, and formatting cells, and editing the cells option. In insert, we have mainly the objects that you can insert in your Microsoft Excel. For example, pivot tables, illustrations, charts, maps, sparklins, etc. Uh, and in page layout, we learn about the features that will help in changing the layout and making it perfect as per our requirement. In our next session, we will learn about the rest of the ribbon menus. Please make sure that for some extra credits, you can visit microsoftlearn.com and finish a course on Microsoft Excel. Thank you. Hello, welcome to another session of Microsoft Excel. In the previous session, we spoke about the first few ribbon menus: File ribbon menu, Home ribbon menu, Insert ribbon menu, and Page layout ribbon menu. Today, we will be covering the other ribbon menus which are there and how are they useful to us. So we will be starting with the Formulas ribbon menu, followed by the Data ribbon menu. Then we will go over to Review ribbon menu and then View ribbon menu. So let's begin our session today. What is the formula ribbon menu? It contains groups that includes all the formulas you can use on a workbook: function library, defined names, formula auditing, and calculation. This is one of the most important ribbon menus that is there in Microsoft Excel. For example, you remember in Word how there was references ribbon menu, and how in presentation there was transitions and animation ribbon menu. Similarly, here we have formulas ribbon menu, which is very specific to Microsoft Excel. Now let's see how formula menu looks like and what are the components that are there. So we will go back to the Microsoft Excel workbook. which we were working with. And just beside page layout, you will be able to look at formulas ribbon menu. Once you click to formulas ribbon menu, the first thing you see is insert a function. Then there is function library. For example, there is auto sum, where you can do sum, average, count number, maximum, minimum, and there are more functions. There is recently used, where you have the basic ones: sum, average, if, hyperlink, count, max, sin, sum if, pmt, stdev, etc. Then you have the financial. This is basically all the financial functions that you require if you're doing anything with accounting. So you have all the accounting based functions here. You see, this is very much finance oriented. So let's say you're calculating a balance sheet or a profit and loss statement. This is what you will be using, the financial functions. Then you have the logical functions, where you have and, false, if error, if na, ifs, lambda, let, not, or, switch, true, xor, etc. Then you have text based functions, which has code, clean, char, dollar, exact, find, fixed, left, len, number value, proper, replace, rept, write, search, substitute. You have date and time. Date and time, here you can add date and time depending on the way you want to show it. Network days, month, minute, hour, end of the month, end date, 360 days, etc. So you also have different insert functions here. Then you have lookup and reference. VLOOKUP is something that we are also going to be doing in the next few sessions. So you see all the data regarding VLOOKUP is here. Then you have maths and trigonometry, where we have abs, acos, ecot, Arabic, degrees, decimal, etc. So all of these functions are here. Then you have some more functions. For example, statistical functions. So anybody who's doing statistical calculation or data analytics can use statistical functions from here. You have engineering functions from here. You have cube related functions, information related function, compatibility related functions, and web related functions. So you see, other than maths and trigonometry, lookup, date and time, text, logical, financial, autosum, recently used, you have more functions as well. This is a proper formula library where you will get all the formulas. Also, if you go to support.microsoft.com, you will actually be able to see all the tutorials related to formulas as well. So we might not be covering all the formulas this time in our sessions, but in case there are any other formula that you would want to use or want to check on, support.microsoft.com is going to be your savior there, because how the formula to be used is with an example is something that you will find it there itself. Then you have the define name. So there's a name manager. You can define and apply names here, create from selection as well. Then you have the formula auditing, where you can trace the precedence and dependence. You can remove arrows, you can show formulas, you can error check and evaluate formulas as well. You can work on watch window, and there is calculation option as well, which is automatic except for data tables, manual. You can do automatic calculation, manual calculations as well. So this is a very intensive ribbon menu, by the way. As you see, this is completely customized as per, how you require to, whatever you're required to use in Microsoft Excel. And all the functions that are there, all the formulas that are there, you can actually use it in your spreadsheets and your workbooks for all the calculations that you would want to do in your workbook, by the way. So this is all about the formulas ribbon menu. After formulas ribbon menu, we will go to data ribbon menu. In data ribbon menu,
You find groups that manages the data input in the workbook. For example, there's get and transform data, there is data tools, there's forecast, and there is outline. So what you can do is here you can get and transform data if you want. You can look into the different data tools that are there, forecast the data if you want to, and look into the outline of the data. So this is also a very important ribbon menu for Microsoft Excel, specifically for data analysts who are using Microsoft Excel to upload their data, clean their data, analyze their data. So let's see how to work. What is the data ribbon menu all about? So we'll go back and I'll go to the sheet that we were working on. So data ribbon menu is here. Once you click on it, the first you get is get and transform data. So you can make it from text or CSV. You can get data from somewhere. So you have databases, Azure, files, other sources. You can even combine queries if you want to use Power Query Editor. Data source settings can be customized as well. You can check from where if you are getting data from table range, recent sources and existing connections as well. So you can get data from all of these places. Then you can refresh the data if you want to in the workbook. You can look into the queries and connections as well. So all the queries and connections will come into this task pane here. Then you have the sort and filter data. This is one of the most important features when you're working with data because you will have large sets of data. You might want to sort it and filter it out based on certain parameters or on certain requirements. Or even like you would not be requiring all the sets of data. You might just want to take a small set of data from there and work on it. So you will be using the sort and the filter option here. There's an advanced filter option as well where you can customize the filters that you are applying and get the exact filter data that you want. Then you have data tools from text to column. Flash fill is there. There is removing duplicates. There's data validation tool. There is power pivot window, relationships in data between tables, and consolidating tables as well. So consolidating and relationship is consolidating is when you want to add 2 or 3 more sets of data from separate ranges and you want to consolidate the results, you can use consolidate. For relationships, you can edit relationships data between tables and show the relationship data, related data from the different tables. So let's say you have 2, 3 tables and there is some sort of a relation that you have found or some sort of a result which is very equal to all these 3 tables. What do? Is you use the relationship data here so that you can show what exactly is the data which is coming out, like how is it equal to the other tables as well. Then you have the forecast, you have the what if analysis and the forecast sheet. So you have a scenario manager, goal seek, data table, etc. Then you have group, ungroup, and subtotal. So grouping is where you can group the data, the rows and columns. Here you can ungroup the rows and columns that were previously grouped. And you can also calculate the related data by inserting subtotals and totals. So you can also do an outline of the data and get the results. So in your outline, you will only get the results of the totals and the subtotals from the data. Next, we have from ribbon style menu, we will go to review ribbon menu. It, it contains groups that proofreads the content inserted in the workbook. For example, there is proofing, there is accessibility, insights, language, comments, protect, ink. So more or less review ribbon menu is more or less same in all the applications that we have seen till date, be it Excel, be it PowerPoint, be it Word. Let's see what is different in Microsoft Excel. So just beside data ribbon menu, you will be able to locate review ribbon menu. Once clicked on it, you will see first the proofing where you have spelling, thesaurus, and workbook statistics. For example, cells with data, end of sheet, table, formula. So you remember in Microsoft Word, there was something called the word count. Here you have the workbook statistics. That means how many sheets are there, how many cells have data in it, how many tables are there, how many formulas have been used in the workbook as well as spreadsheet as well. So you get that bifurcated data here. Then you have something called the smart lookup, which you can use the internet for to look for certain definition, images or web pages, etc. You have translate and language if you have a selected text which you want to translate into another language. You can add comments, that is always there. So let's say you're working on a workbook and you've shared it with your team, and the team might have noticed that there is a calculation missing, or there has been some sort of a some or the other number is uh, you know has been written wrongly. So what you can do is that person can write a comment here, add a comment here. You can obviously see those comments, incorporate the same changes and share it back. You have notes where you can prepare notes, on your worksheets. So let's say if you're working on this sheet 7 and you will be sharing it, you can obviously attach a note with it itself. You have something called the protect sheet where you can protect the spreadsheet that you're working on, protect the workbook, and allow edit ranges. So here you can lock the cells, unlock the cells, format columns, insert columns, rows, hyperlinks, delete them, use pivot table, pivot chart, edit objects and scenarios, and obviously you can add a password to it. Now, when you are password protecting your document, be it a workbook or a spreadsheet, remember that let's say you in your workbook you have 10 spreadsheets, right? But you do not want to show the calculation spreadsheet and two other spreadsheets. So what do you do is out of the 10, you can password protect those three worksheets that you do not want anybody to open. And you can only give consent once you share the password with the team. Otherwise, make sure that the password is something that you would remember. Write it down and keep it with yourself in case you do not want the sheets to get shared with other people. You can also protect your workbook in that way. Allow edit ranges, so you can check on the name, refer the cells which are unlocked by your password and look into it. Obviously, there is hide ink as well. So if there is some ink on the spreadsheet, that can be hidden as well. So this is how the review ribbon menu works in Microsoft Excel. After that, we come to view. View contains groups that helps the user in viewing the workbook as per their requirement. So they have workbook views, show, zoom, window, macros. So all of this helps you in viewing the workbook in a certain manner. Yes? So let's see what is it about. So we go back to the spreadsheet and we go to view ribbon menu. The first we see is a sheet view. So let's say we select here and you can keep, exit, new options are there for sheet view. Then you have a normal page break preview as well. So normal is the default view that we have. There is a page break preview. So you remember how in Microsoft Word we had something called the print default mode, the print layout, which was the default mode. Here we have the normal view. Then you have a page break preview, you have a page layout and custom views as well. You can view your, you can customize your views and make it as per your requirement. There are grid lines, formula bars, and headings. Yes, there is zoom where you can zoom to the selection of the data. You can customize your zoom as well. You can either use this um, feature here, or you can even use this feature here. That you line that you see here with 100% written here. This is also something that you can use for zooming in. Then you have window where there is new window, arrange all, free space, split, hide, etc. You have view side by side, you have switch windows here, and then you have macros, right? So there is different macros also which are available, and we will be talking about all these things descriptively in the next few sessions. But this is how the view ribbon menu helps. Now, beside view is help, which is mostly about contacting support, asking for help in case you need any, showing training, or providing feedback. You also get access to Excel blog and community where you can discuss, let's say, anything to do with Excel. So let's say you want to discuss a formula implementation, how to use a certain function. You can actually visit this community and talk to the people who has been helping in building this product up and take their help and get solutions. So this is all about the different ribbon menus which are available in Microsoft Excel. Now that our ribbon menus are there, in case you want to learn more about the ribbon menus which are there, please visit support.microsoft.com, and also make sure that you complete a course on Microsoft Excel in Microsoft Learn and earn few extra credits.
Hello, welcome to the third session of Microsoft Excel. In the previous session, in the previous two sessions, we learned about what is Microsoft Excel, how to start Microsoft Excel, and what are recent documents. Today, we will be learning about pinning documents and also what is what are the different templates that are available and how to use them. So let's begin our session for today. So you'll see pinning documents is something that we're going to start with, followed by templates. What is pinning documents in Microsoft Excel? Users can pin the recently used files. This feature helps the user to quickly access the recently used files and pin the list of the files in the chronological order. Now, just beside recent, we saw pinned, right? What is pinned documents? Now, whenever you're using social media post, you will come across something called pinning the post. That is, let's say you're looking for a house and you have put it out on social media that you're looking for a house in this location, in this budget. If anybody has any contacts, to share it with you, right? What you can do is you can pin that in your social media page. So whoever lands up in your social media page can look into that, or people can see if they open your page, or if they are accessing with any of the, if they're looking with any of those keywords, they will still come across to your post, right? Similarly, in Microsoft Excel, there's something called pin documents, where the document that you will be frequently using, you can pin it up. And what happens is when you pin up that document, anytime that you would want to use, instead of even going to recent documents, you can just look for it from the pinned document, right? So let's say how to pin documents. So we'll go back and we will open Microsoft Excel. We'll go to File, and in File, you will see Recent Pinned, right? Now, when you click on the pinned, you see it's empty because I have not pinned any documents as of yet. But you go to recent, and let's say I will be working on this document more frequently for the next few weeks. Click onto it and pin to the list. Once you pin to the list, this document will be ready to use. So you go to pin and you see this document is pinned here. Now you do not need to look for it in the recent documents as well, right? You can also go directly to the pinned documents and use it. Now, let's say, for example, you are working on the balance sheet and you also have to look into the last year's balance sheet that you had created. Every time you look into the last year's balance sheet and this year's balance sheet as well, You have to make sure that you do not have to look for that last year's balance sheet. You might know where it is stored, but you have to save some of your time and some of your effort here. What you can do is you can pin that document as well. And you can pin the document that you're working on, which is the recent balance sheet of this year. You can pin that as well. So anytime you would want to open that document, you do not have to search and look for that document and waste even 5 minutes. You can come to the pin documents, click onto it, and pin that document. Yeah. And that's how you pin a document and use it when you need to use it frequently as much as you can. Your pinned documents also appear in chronological order. So the file which was, last done to the file, which has been done previously or long back, you will be able to chronologically visit the or open the files or all the files that has been pinned by you. Now, one thing is, do not pin each and every document that you would want to. That's not required. Pin the documents that you think is relevant, will be required for future, or will be required, for an emergency purpose or for recent use. Make sure that those are important documents as well. Yes. Now, how to unpin this? So let's say my use is over. The balance sheet I've created is done completely. I don't need to use it anymore, this format. What you do is you right click on it and you can unpin it from the list. Once you unpin it from the list, it's just that if you go to pinned, you won't be able to look for the file, but it will still be in the recent file or in the folder that you have stored in case you have removed it from the recent document list as well. So pin the files that are utmost required. Whenever you require it, let's say it's important, it has important calculation, pin those files. Don't pin each and every file that you use in or each and every workbook that you've been using, because you might not need all of those workbooks at the same time. But certain workbooks can also be your reference. So pin all those documents. Now this is all about pinning documents. The next we will go to is templates. What is a template? It's a pre-format of a file. Easier to make, quick format, saves time, increases flexibility, provides new idea, and reduces human error. Any last minute deadline. Yes, you all Microsoft Excel provides you, Microsoft Office provides you with pre-loaded templates for all the last minute deadlines that you have. So let's say morning you have entered Office and you've been told that there's a presentation. And in that presentation, you have to showcase the company's uh, balance sheet that you need to present with the help of the Excel file. Now, because it will be a small target group of audience that will be looking into a file, you need to start creating that balance sheet. Though balance sheet, there's a format, you have to work on the design, the branding, the colors, and all those things. But what happens is if you go to Microsoft Excel and if you search for that very same format, which is your balance sheet format, you will be able to access that balance sheet as well. And what you can do is you can customize it as per your requirement, which is change the color, change the heading, add your company name, add your company logo, and do all of those things. Now, another thing with templates is you will get certain generalized templates. For example, calendar. But there are multiple calendars that formats that you might require to. An academic calendar is something that it's not required in the office. A daily task list calendar is maybe used by the hospitality department more, but not by the managers. So in this way, you can create you have access to different formats of calendars or any document that you will be looking for, right? Now, when you work with templates and with all the last minute templates that you work on, it also gives you an idea to create a new template of your own. You can, if you have time, look into the different templates that are available for you. Take those templates and then create a new template for yourself. Once you create a new template for yourself, you can always standardize it and use it for later uses. right? And also, this will reduce human error because if your content is ready, you just need to put it in the template and finish all those calculations which are there. That's about it. You do not need to think about where to write what, where should I, what color should I do, and in that space miss out on time. A lot of efforts gets wasted. Most importantly, you might just miss out on certain points as well, and you would not want to do that. Yeah. So let's see how to use templates in Microsoft Excel. So we'll go back and we will open Microsoft Excel. We can go to new, and you see there are templates here. There is organization chart, seasonal photo calendar, monthly budget, monthly company budget, weekly chore schedule, invoice, student schedule, weekly attendance report, simple invoice sales invoice tracker, employee absence schedule, inventory list, home inventory, loan calculator, bill paying checklist, project timeline, Gantt project, etc. So you see different formats are already available. But let's say I want to look for balance sheet. So you can click onto this, you can create. And as you see, you are in the balance sheet. Now you can always change this picture, always add a different font here if you want. And let's say customize it as per the use. So I will be able to see what is written here. You can obviously change the font and the style as well. The chart is already created here. So what you can do is you can go to assets and just add your number. So your last year's number and your this year's number can all be added here. And the chart will also work, you know, display it in that manner. Similarly, here also you can just add your numbers, and in case any other points that you would want to add here, so add it here and change it as per your use. You can also customize the color of the charts, which we will be learning after some time. But see, your charts are also created. So you do not need to worry about how to show the charts. If it's till last moment, you do not might not have to change the colors as well. But you have a format where the content has been put and you can display it as well, right? So this gives you a lot of help and a lot of time and saves a lot of time. You can concentrate on making your document better than sitting and editing and conceptualizing the design that you would want. Now, for example, whenever you want to create a standardized template for yourself, look into different templates of balance sheet maybe. So you can go to file, you can go to new, and let's say here, you see this taskbar, you can just write balance sheet. Click onto this magnifying glass and search for it. As you see, there are 4 formats already readily available. You can look into this 4 and also create your format as well, right? You can draw inspiration from all these 4 formats and create your own format and make it a standardized template. Documents which you think will be used on a regular basis, let's say 6 monthly, three after every 3 months, or after every 6 months, or in a year, every year, you can always have standardized templates ready. Standardized templates will help you in saving time and saving effort and just adding the content so that you can present it at any time, right? So this is how the whole balance, the templates work. Now that you have learned about templates and pinning documents, you can go to support.microsoft.com to look into more Excel calendar templates that are available. Also, please visit microsoftlearn.com to finish a course on Microsoft Excel and earn few extra credits. Thank you.